Hello everyone, welcome back with another episode of D's Homestead. And today we're going to continue on with the prepping like your grandparents would have for an emergency, just in case. You never know. So today, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but on my community tab here on YouTube and then also on my Facebook, I had put up a poll here a week or so ago on which one would people want to see first, me canning sausage patties or grape jelly. And it was pretty much a dead even tie. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do the sausage today, and then probably in the next day or two you'll see the video for the grape jelly, since it'll be right behind this one, just like a day or two out. So either Sunday or Monday at the latest, I'll put up the grape jelly one. You should see this one hopefully Saturday, which is today. So all right, now this recipe that I'm going to use, the way I'm going to do it, I'm pretty much got this from Appalachia's Homestead with Patera. I don't know if you guys watch her or not, but it's really pretty simple. It's not hard at all. We're going to use the Presto electric pressure canner, so it should make it nice and simple. I know a lot of people don't have that, and if that's the case, you still use a pressure canner. Just do it on your stove or outside in the outdoor kitchen, whichever one you want to use. Now when Patera did hers, she went to, I think it was Aldi's, or no, it wasn't Aldi's, it was a different store, but she had gotten Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage. Me personally, nothing wrong with that. It was probably pretty good stuff. And this is sort of hard because you got to make sure you get it small enough that it's going to fit inside the jar. But I went to my local meat market, and I'm not talking a grocery store meat market, a real meat market, and got sausage that I know is good, and I'm making up my own patties. It would be easier to do it the way Patera did, just because the patties are already made, so there's not a whole lot of work to it. So it's up to you, however you want to do it. Me personally, I just prefer to get my patties from the local meat market that I know I like their recipes. So when you're doing this, everyone says to make sure you don't do sage. So if you're doing like a breakfast sausage, just ask, especially if you're getting it from a local meat market, just ask them what all's in it. Most of the time they'll let you know. And just tell them. You can always tell them too. If they're iffy on telling you what's in it, just tell them, like, look, hey, I'm planning on canning this, and I just want to make sure that there's no sage in it. Because what they claim is with sage, that when you pressure can it, the taste will overpower, and it makes it so that your stuff tastes bad. So my recommendation would be don't can with sage if you can keep from it. So today we're going to try and do, hopefully, I already have my jars in here. I haven't started heating them up or anything yet, because oddly enough, these patties are going to get browned in the oven. That's going to take between 15 and 20 minutes to brown up these patties. And this Presto electric pressure canner takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes to warm up the jars and to get ready to actually can. So we should be good. The timing should be hopefully about perfect. I already have my oven working on preheating. I set it on 375, and like I said, it should take about 15 to 20 minutes. What you want to do is just brown these patties, and if you don't brown the patties, what will end up happening is they'll end up sticking together, so you'll have a great big clump of sausage in your jar instead of brown single patties coming out. So just want to brown these up, like I said, just like 15-20 minutes, somewhere in there. You're not really trying to cook them the whole way through, you're just trying to brown them up. I should look and see, surely there's a little press or something you could get. And I mean, I know you got the big hamburger presses and stuff. You might be asking why I'm not using one of those. Well, it would be too big around to fit inside a wide mouth pint jar. So that's why I'm making these by hand. But I'm sort of curious. I might have to look and see, is there a smaller hamburger patty maker that's only like a 3-inch round, maybe? If so, that might be worth getting so that you're not having to stand here and do these all by hand like I'm doing, but I don't mind it. It's not bad. And me, I'm just trying to get, you can see there whenever you roll it up in a ball, not a whole lot, just enough to sort of fill the palm of your hand there, and then just smash it down and sort of keep it as round as you can possibly keep it. I already have my cookie sheets are sitting back here. I'll get those off the other counter here in a minute. But the cookie sheets are sitting back there, and I already have aluminum foil in them. And I've sprayed them with a little bit of Pam just to make sure nothing sticks. I don't think I'd have an issue with that, but I wanted to be better safe than sorry. So I don't know if you guys saw or not this week in the news about the FBI coming out and saying that China is trying to hack in and shut down our grid, our electrical grid. And you might ask yourself, why am I all of a sudden trying to get stuff prepared? Well, I'm just trying to get more prepared like our grandparents would have for emergencies, and that's one of the reasons. Just, I mean, the craziness going on in the world right now, you can't ever tell. So if this sausage put up the way I'm putting it up, once it's canned and put up on a shelf, I don't need to worry about refrigeration. I don't need to worry about a freezer. I don't need to worry about any of that stuff. And this is only one batch that I'm going to do on camera. I'll probably do more batches later on, but my plan eventually is to just get myself more prepared, ready for emergencies, and also my family at the same time. I know my sister, my niece, my daughters, they're all working on doing stuff like this too, just trying to get more prepared, just in case. You never know. I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but I mean, just in the first year that I bought this place in October, we had a pretty good tornado come through, and it literally went through about 150, 200 yards behind the house. It actually took out a tree that was literally like maybe 50 yards behind the house, but the main part of the tornado was about 150, 200 yards behind where you guys are at right this second. So you never know when something's going to happen. Now, had that tornado hit the house, would these jars of sausage made a difference? Would they have been any good? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I can tell you that me personally, I sleep better at night knowing that I have some stuff on the shelves that if the power goes out, it's still going to be good. I'm still going to be able to eat it. So okay, that's the last patty made up. As you can see, tray's empty, so we'll get rid of this. Be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to bring some of these pans over. We're just going to start getting these patties lined up on these pans and get them ready to go in the oven. Try and get as much as we can on each sheet. Hopefully I'm going to have enough sheets to get all these in, but I don't know. We're going to see. And like I said here, I am prepping in here. I'm going to be prepping 7 pint jars. I don't know if we're actually going to use all 7, but I'm going to have 7 prepped just in case. I know when Patera did hers, she did 7 patties per jar. I don't know if I'm going to do quite 7 patties per jar, just because, like I said, it's just me. I don't know if I really need 7 patties per jar, so we'll see what it comes out to. My patties might be a little bit thicker too, because I handmade mine, so we'll see what happens whenever the jars are ready and we're ready to can. So Okay, so the oven just beeped here that it's ready for, it's preheated, it's ready for me to put these in. So we're gonna get these ready, but we're also gonna get the pressure canner ready. So I'm gonna bring you guys around here and let's get this ready. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do, take your cord, let's get it plugged in. As you can see, it starts beeping here. So we are gonna pressure can, and we're gonna do 75 minutes because that's what you do for your pint-sized jars. And now it's gonna tell me right there, insert jars. So when you look though, I already have my jars in. So there's a line on the case here. You fill the water up to that line, it's roughly 3 quarts. And in each one of those jars, if you can see there, I have filled halfway full with water. So we'll put the lid back on, and you can see here it says install remove. You line that up, and then you turn it to locked. And then this piece goes down, and then flip, and now it's locked. So once you do that, you just hit continue. And now it's starting to warm those jars. And I want to make sure I got this stuff pulled away. Okay, and now we're going to get our sausage. And we're going to get it in the oven here. Like I said, we're doing 375 is what I have it set at. We're just trying to brown it, not actually cook it all the way. So 375. We're going to set the timer for about 15 minutes, just so we can see where it's at in 15 minutes. And now that I think about it, I got to get my water boiling. So get this pan out, fill it up with water, and we'll get that on the stove going too. Okay, so we got our water on there going, so we should be good. Now what we need to do is you guys can use whatever you want. I like to use the Redmond real salt, and I'll put a link to this down in the description down below. And I'll also put a link to the digital pressure canner, a link to these Superb lids. These are the only lids that I use, Superb. You guys can use whatever you like. Some people like balls, some people like 4-jar. I like Superb. So I'll put a link for those down below, and a link to the canning set here, so you can pretty much have everything that you would need to do this project yourself. All right, so I'm just going to continue on with getting stuff ready, and we'll be right back. Okay, hey, so we still have roughly, as you can see, about 2 minutes left on there. I wanted to come back here and just show you a couple things. So one of the things you want to make sure is up here at the top, you want to make sure you have your regulator off. Don't be warming your jars with the regulator on. You want this off. And it'll beep later and tell us when to put this on. But for right now, regulator off. I forgot to mention that earlier. And then as you can see, I started getting stuff ready here. So we have the jar lifter, lids, rings are there, ready to go. The funnel, half teaspoon. That's what you want to put, 1/2 teaspoon of salt in a pint. You'd probably use about a teaspoon if you're doing a quart. And again, it's by taste, whatever you want. And then I have the ladle. And I also have the debubbler and to check your headspace. To make sure you got the right amount of water and stuff in there. And then vinegar, a paper towel, and the salt. And then as you heard, that was just beeping just a second ago. And as you can see right here, now it says fill jars, which means everything in there is warmed up, ready to go. And that's about ready to go. And as you can see, the water is nice and warm. Okay, so up here, we're gonna go ahead and take the lid off. So you'll turn the knob, lift that up. As you can hear, those are ready. The water over here is boiling nice. So we're gonna turn that down a little bit because I don't want it boiling over. I just need to keep it warm. When you take this lid off, you'll twist this to where it says install remove again. And when you take this off, you want to make sure you lift it away from you. So if there is any steam or anything coming out, it won't be blowing in your face. I usually then just set the lid right here on the towel. And strategically, I placed this towel. So if you're doing a lot of canning and stuff, you want to get one towel that you can ruin. Like we do pickles and stuff with this towel. There's pickle juice all over it. So this towel doesn't get used for anything else but canning. So the towel's folded in half. But I have the open side over here. And as you'll see later, I'll use this to hold the jar so I don't burn my hand. Whereas if I had the other end over this way, it would be sort of hard because you'd be holding both sides. Okay, what you're gonna do is take your jar lifter, grab one of your jars. One thing I forgot to get is a dish towel. Because for me, I'm gonna have to go over to my sink to dump this water out of the jar. You don't wanna put this water in there or else you'll be over full where you need to be at for pressure canning. So I just wanna have a towel underneath there. So as it's dripping, it doesn't get all over my floor. Now the recommended way to do this is to grab out one jar at a time. That's the recommended way, not necessarily the way I'm gonna do it. I'd like to get out about 2 or 3 jars and then let's get them ready and then we'll move on to the next ones. Those sausage patties are looking amazing. We're gonna set those here. So that way they're up on that towel and they're protected. Then I'm just gonna close the oven back up and then we're gonna start grabbing sausage patties and putting them in our jars. And I know that one touches the sides and you might be like, oh no, but it'll be all right. We're gonna wipe these rings off before we put them on. So it looks like 5 is gonna be about perfect. Five will put you just right there around that 1-inch mark. That one, maybe we better just do 4. So it's a little over that 1-inch mark, so we'll just do 4 in each jar. Okay, once you have your meat in the jar, we're gonna grab this. We're gonna fill it up to 1 inch a head space of water. My water's right here. And I can tell you this sausage smells amazing already, and it's not even cooked all the way yet. So, okay, those should be right at about 1 inch. Now your sugar or your salt, I don't know why I keep saying sugar when I know it's salt. And like I said, we're just doing a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in each one. And again, this is optional. You don't need to do the salt. It's all up to you, how you like the taste. I'm adding it in. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know which way I'm gonna like it, but. Okay, now you wanna just take a little bit of vinegar, put it on your rag or on your paper towel or whatever. And some people, they do it all fancy and they put a little bit of vinegar in a jar or in a bowl so that they're not actually touching it. And this is where I was saying, but hold on, let me get, normally I don't have a tray of sausage sitting right there. So I'm going to move the tray of sausage over just a hair and put it over there on that pad. And normally this is where I would take my towel, wipe off the ring really good. Grab your ring with your Superb lid or whatever kind of lid you decide you want to use. Put it on there. You don't want to crank it down too hard, especially on the Superbs, just a little bit finger tight. Once you do that, that's it. We're ready to go back in. So we'll put that one in there. We'll get this one here ready and get it put in there, and then we'll do all the rest of them. So not too much though, don't over tighten it. That won't be good. All right, we're getting the last of these into the canner. Okay, as you can see, we have all 7 pints in here. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. So we're gonna grab our lid. Go again right here, you want that to install remove. It'll pop down in. Just turn it just a little bit till it's locked. And then we're gonna go right here and we're gonna hit, see how it still says fill jars. So we're just gonna hit the button right here. And now it's saying it's heating. So again, the regulator is still off during this time. You don't want the regulator on there yet. You want to make sure your regulator is off. So I don't know if you can hear that or not. You can see the steam coming up out. Okay, and as you can see right here, it switched to vent and it's counting down from 10 minutes. So we'll just wait, and when that's done, it'll beep and tell us to put the regulator on. And like I said, we'll put the regulator on, but make sure you use something, a pot holder, a dish towel, something like that, so that you don't burn yourself. Okay, so we're back. We have like 2 minutes left on the time right there. So we're gonna start getting ready here soon and get this regulator put on. Hey, what I wanted to talk to you about. So the reason I started doing these videos is because I feel like there's just a lot of stuff going on in this country right now. And matter of fact, just the whole world in general. Like just between politics and, if you've been paying attention, like power outages and storms and earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff like that. So I feel it's everybody's responsibility to get themselves just a little bit more prepared. So while a lot of these channels, I'm not going to mention their names, but a lot of these channels are focusing on bringing you all the news and the stuff that they're finding behind the scenes that you're not seeing on the mainstream news, I'm trying to focus on, let me help you get prepared. So if you're looking to get more prepared, then this is a channel for you. So hit that like button, click subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and if you know other family or friends that are feeling the same way, like they need to be just a little bit more prepared, this is a channel for them. Make sure you share it with them. Try and get them hooked in and joining the journey. So I should have done this video either like Sunday or Monday is when this video should have came out, not Saturday. So if you've been paying attention and if you clicked on the first video, if you've seen it on getting an emergency fund build up, this week you should be at $90. No, that's not right. You should be at $120. So if you're not at 120, you're wrong. So make sure you go and get yourself caught back up, get up to 120. If you didn't catch that video, I'll have it linked here at the end. The playlist will be linked. And as you can see, it now says put regulator on. So you're literally just gonna grab that, come up here, and that's it. Regulator's on. Now there's a little thing right here and it'll pop up in just a second. And now that I hit the button, as you can see, 75, and it'll start doing its thing. So, all right, but yeah, the goal here is to try and get as prepared as I can possibly get. If I have this sausage patties canned up and the grape jelly that we're gonna do here later on canned up, that'll be next week's video, then that will help as far as I don't need to worry about refrigeration or freezers working in order to keep this sausage good or to keep that grape jelly good. So it'll all be canned up, ready to go. Right now it's on the cool down mode. So you just leave it be, don't touch anything. It'll cool down. And what you're waiting to see before you take off the regulator or anything is that needs to drop down in. But right now it's just on cool down mode, so we'll come back once it's done cooling down. Okay, we're back, and the canner just beeped 10 times letting me know it's done. But let me show you. If you see right here, that little silver piece hasn't went down yet, so you can't open that lid. So we got to wait just a little bit longer. So sometimes, even whenever it beeps the 10 times and tells you it's done, you still have to wait just a little bit longer. Okay, and now we're back, and as you can see, the little pin dropped down. So we're able to turn the lock here. That means that the pressure is released. You can flip that to vent to lift up on your lid or on your little lock arm. And again, whenever you do this, you want to make sure you turn till that says install remove. And again, lift it away from you, not towards you. As you can see, there's steam coming up right there. So make sure you lift away, not towards. I usually try and let that drip in there. And then just move this over to the towel. Man. Look at that. Still bubbling like crazy. Looks amazing. We're just going to pull these out, and as you heard, that one popped already. Man, these are looking good. That's one of the things I like about these Superb lids. I don't know if you're hearing these pops or not, but I mean, they don't mess around. When they go off and pop, there's no doubt. Okay, and this is the last one to come out. As you can see, I mean, it's just boiling like crazy. Look at that, just boiling away. And I don't know if you're hearing those ping or not, but man. Okay, and we'll just leave these sit here for the next 12 to 24 hours, probably 24. And then we'll check all the lids, make sure everything's sealed okay. Most of these have sealed already. It looks like so far there's only one that doesn't look like it's sealed. The rest all have. So we will wait and see what happens. So, all right, hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you like this kind of content, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, share this video with your friends, and tomorrow or Monday, you should see the video for the grape jelly. And then next week, we'll be getting into something different. We won't be canning, I can tell you that. So this is unusual. I don't usually plan on doing 2 back-to-back canning videos, but like I said, whenever I asked on the community page on YouTube and on the Facebook page, it was pretty much a dead tie between doing the canning of the sausage patties or doing the grape jelly. So I just figured, you know what, I'll just do these 2 videos back to back, and let's get those out of the way, and then we'll move on back to more topics, and then we'll come back to canning again. So, all right, hey, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll talk to you later on. Have a good day. Goodbye.